can be. They're their own worst enemy.
I mean that with respect to Buffalo. Not doing the things that get you beat is how you win playoff games. Ask Kansas City. Meanwhile, we'll have much more on that game as we go. Let's go to the snow globe that was Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Matthew Stafford and the Rams. The scenes fascinating. Jalen Hurts, what could he get done? Eagles down 7-6 early, and they will host the NFC Championship game next week against their division rival Washington Commanders. The question is simple. With this formula, D. Wood, with Saquon Barkley and practically nothing else in their offense, can this team win the Super Bowl?
They need more in the passing game. You're going to have more. If you're going to play either Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, you're going to need more than
what they play. Jaden Daniels Sunday.
You play Jaden. We ain't even gotten to start talking about him yet. They got to have more out of the passing. And Saquon Barkley is unbelievable. That weapon of the offensive line is unbelievable. Their defense got tested big time by Matthew Stafford. The passing game is lacking. And we've been talking about this now for some time, for weeks now. What's going on with Philadelphia Eagles passing attack? What's going on with A.J. Brown and company? They're going to need more. If they want to be champions, Super Bowl champions, got to have it. Got to get more.
In the last two games, to my two quarterbacks over here, A.J. Brown has a combined total of 3 receptions for 24 yards. That's in their 2 playoff games. Saquon has been unbelievable. They found a way to hold on at the end. Can they ride this formula to a championship?
In some ways, it's a compliment to how good this team is, that you can have a guy like A.J. and he can be non-existent and you can still win big ball games like this. Listen, I think the Eagles got bailed out by the weather yesterday, right? In a lot of ways, this really played into their hands. I mean, I think if there's better weather, they probably lose this ball game. I mean, they net passing of 65 yards. I mean, you're not going to hoist a Lombardi doing that, right? They've got to step up. A.J. Brown is one of the best receivers in football, right? Like, you don't have to get complicated with this run game, with Saquon, with this offensive line. When he's one-on-one, throw it to him. They've got to get him involved.
How you want to look at it is the question. No, they're not going to beat probably Washington or those AFC teams throwing the football the way they are. Okay, it has to get better. Last week, I thought they recovered up. This week, I didn't think that Jalen trusted when people were open. That being said, I do want to give him credit for some of the checks that he made at the line of scrimmage to create some huge plays. And then also, he doesn't give the ball away. Yeah. You got to give him credit for that. So while I do believe that there are examples yesterday of him just not being confident throwing the football, you also have to give him credit for not doing the critical mistakes and doing everything that's necessary to not lose the game, and that spins the way to win the game. These are the checks at the line of scrimmage. I know Lou wants to get in here. Okay, so they got a load front, meaning everybody on the defensive line for the Rams, big bodies, is up kind of towards the left of the line of scrimmage. They got little guys near the bottom of the screen. Jalen checks to this. That means they got big people blocking little people. Mailata's blocking a corner, okay? Their right tackle, Lane Johnson's blocking a corner. That's how you get so many people that's away from the football in huge runs. But that's a check by Jalen Hurts. And the one late in the game, Alex knows his safety's dropping down to the offense's right. Jalen's going to alert, opposite, meaning we want to run away from him. He takes Saquon, flips him to his right, and what happens is you get a numbers advantage, and then if one guy gets out of his gap up top, which is what's going to happen sometimes against this offense because you're selling out to stop it, this is a huge run for Saquon, and that safety doesn't take a necessary angle, and it's space and green grass for Saquon in this offense.
Or white snow.
But those are checked by the quarterback.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, I think that the conversation when you're talking about the passing game and can they win the Super Bowl with it being the way it is really comes down to this. It's really about explosive play creation, right? That's what you're looking for. If they keep getting the same kind of explosive production out of the running game, and they do take care of the football, and they are opportunistic and intentional with turning the football over, yeah, they can win the championship. Now, if the running game all of a sudden, if Saquon isn't ripping off plus 20, plus 50-yard runs like this, which right now is kind of like buffering some of this inability to push the ball down the field, then they get into trouble. But you know what? This isn't about winning the way that we want them to. This isn't about style. This isn't about what we wish. Because, look, Buffalo just did this, right? Josh Allen just had a game where he really wasn't a factor throwing the football, but he ran it. He didn't turn it over. They did turn it over. That will win you a championship.
The theme of the weekend, there are 4 teams left. They've played 7 playoff games. They have turned the ball over 0 times.
There you go.
That's how you win playoff games. We're just getting started on this jam.
NFC title game. They face Kansas City in Kansas City on Sunday, 6:30 Eastern Time. NFC title game, we'll see Jaden Daniels and the Commanders heading to Philly to take on the Birds on Sunday at 3 Eastern.
A couple snug lines, deservedly so. It is championship weekend, of course, and that's why we got Herm Edwards and D-Dub back on the program. Damian, let's start with you. Is this finally the year the Bills go into Kansas City and win a playoff game?
Yeah, not so fast, my friend. Listen, I would say when you play against a team like Kansas City, you're going to have to go in there and beat the king because they're not going to beat themselves. I think that's what makes, amongst other things, Kansas City so great is they just play winning football. They don't make mistakes. They don't commit the costly turnovers that you see a lot of these teams do to lose these football games. A coach once told me more teams find ways to lose games than win them. Well, in order to beat Kansas City, you're going to have to go out there and actually beat them. So I'm picking the Chiefs.
And why wouldn't you? You're right, Damian. But I will say this. I was surprised by the Buffalo defense and how they actually stopped the Ravens from running the football. They are light. They're a light defense, but did a good job of scheming that run game, right? I want to see if this Buffalo Bill defense can take away Kelsey. If they can take away Kelsey, they got a chance. Josh Allen will have a chance to win this game, but they have to take away Kelsey.
He's a guy coming off, like you said, 117 yards for Travis Kelce, his best game of the season. Now, the other showdown is in the NFC. That's the Commanders and the Eagles. Damian, in which offense do you have the most confidence?
Woo! Y'all seen that boy? Y'all seen that boy Jaden Daniels play?
Yeah.
We just watched
Y'all seen that boy
too.
Jaden? Hey, man, that dude is a monster, man, and it just seems like nothing rattles this young man. He's just, the moment is not too big. It's not too big. I love the way Cliff Kingsbury is calling his plays and how they get in and out of no huddle. They do a lot of things to try to keep the defense off balance. And listen, you could make the case Jaden Daniels is playing the best of any quarterback that's still playing in the playoffs right now. So, man, this Commanders team is high-powered on offense. Give me the Commanders offensively.
I agree. I mean, right now, if you look at the playoffs and you look at the quarterbacks, this Jaden Daniels fella, he's playing the best.
Co-signing with Damian.
Yeah, he's playing the best. He's playing at a high level. I mean, he is all about it. This game will not be too big for him at all.
Okay.
Every week we say, this is another big game. It's just a game for Jaden Daniels. He gets it. And so this will be a really good football game.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels against Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to boil down to.
They don't got to hit each other.
Them two guys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's going to boil down to two really good players.
Round 3 for Jaden Daniels against the Eagles, who are 5-point favorites early on. Guys, thanks.
All right, it comes down to